So ano bang katotohanan diyan sa 2 years na
There's
sinasabi?
no truth to the 2 years. Ignore.
Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Meron tayong pag-uusapan na ilang beses na rin natin sa totoo lang na-tackle dito sa channel. But the last time we did, it was last year or more than a year ago. So okay na rin. I-refresh natin ang ating diskusyon tungkol dito because this question is always out there. Okay, ang daming diskusyon tungkol dito. At recently, meron din nag-comment nito ng tanong na ito sa atin in the past month. Hindi ko lang mabalikan ngayon, no, yung comment, pero meron. Tapos, sakto, okay, sa isang live episode po natin with Attorney Ludang Zalan recently, natanong ang isang similar question. And then, I took it also upon myself to ask another one of our sukis, si immigration consultant Dayanara M. Puerto Pantigue, about this also. So, i-combine ko yung mga sound bites nila in this episode. Okay? Ano ba itong issue na ito? Pwede bang lumipat agad ng probinsya ang isang PR na nakuha ang kanyang PR through a provincial nomination program? Meron pong dalawang tanong na pinakamadalas i-raise in relation to this topic. Una, pwede bang bawiin yung PR status mo pag umalis ka agad ng probinsya na nagbigay sa'yo ng PR? Pangalawa, will it affect any future plans to apply to be a citizen of Canada? Madalas tayong makarinig ng mga sagot na wala yan, pag PR ka, may karapatan kang lumipat. You have what is called mobility rights. Okay, wala na makakapigil sa'yo to reside and work wherever you want in Canada. Yes, that is true. Merong tinatawag na mobility rights. To summarize lang, my discussions with both immigration practitioners, hindi po ito kasi issue ng mobility rights. Hindi ka naman sinasabihan ng probinsya na, oh, bawal kang lumipat, at least not directly. It is a case of potential misrepresentation on the part of the PR. Bakit? Kasi po, di ba, kapag merong PR application, there's a checkbox in your application wherein, no, usually, sinasabi mo yes kapag tinatanong ka nung probinsya kung meron kang intensyong manatili sa kanilang probinsya, intent to reside. And PNPs only grant PRs to those who say yes to that question. So, pwede bang habulin? Yes. Dahil pag malaman ng probinsya na, ay, hindi ka naman pala tumira dito. Okay, nag-misrepresent ka dun sa issue na yun. Yes, the indirect effect is it restricts you from moving provinces in a way. Pero again, yung misrepresentation na angle ang mas focus po dito. So again, yes, pwedeng habulin, but does it actually happen often? Probably not. Probably not. But what do you guys expect immigration practitioners to tell you? Diba? Syempre, they will always err on the safe and proper advice. Which is, syempre, huwag ka mag-misrepresent doon sa sinabi mong mananatili ka dyan sa probinsya ng yan. To avoid a potential misrepresentation finding in the future. Okay? Yun lang naman po yun. So kapag nakarinig po tayo ng storya na walang issue, meron akong kakilala, lumipat. Okay, hindi naman binawi yung PR. Tapos naging citizen na rin. Well, you know, good for them. Good for them. O, bahala rin kayo kung gusto nyong sundon yung kanilang yapak. But again, it does not dispute the fact na pwede, merong posibilidad na bawiin. Okay, and please, by the way, let me refer you back to this episode I had with Attorney Lou way back in 2025. Balikan po ninyo yan. Diyan po talaga namin na discuss yung issue na yan. Ang nakakainis lang, no? Nung binalikan ko nung pinanood ko yung episode kanina, may something pala doon sa audio ko. I sound cartoonish. Naku, so there was something wrong when I uploaded that episode. Pero I think understandable pa rin naman po siya. So balikan nyo yan. Okay, bago ko po i-play yung mas bagong soundbites rin nila Attorney Lou tsaka ni Dayanara, let me refer you to this court decision. Okay, bilang patunay lang po na nangyayari siya. This is a case of a province na binalikan po yung PR na umalis ng probinsya matapos niyang ma-PR. Okay? Alberta po ang probinsya na ito. Summary na lang po ang sasabihin ko kasi diniscuss rin po namin ni Attorney Lou ang kasong ito doon sa earlier episode namin at ilalagay ko yung link sa episode na yan sa ating comment section. This case, inaapila na po dahil meron na pong exclusion order yung taong ito. Matapos po magkaroon ng finding na minisrepresent daw po niya yung kanyang application sa Alberta Provincial Nomination Program. Ayan ano. Okay, there are two key points at which the applicant actively misrepresented his personal and employment addresses. Yung letter B, nag-misrepresent nga daw. Doon sa application for PR residence under the Alberta Provincial Nomination Program in 2017. Okay, kasi nakuha na yung PR at doon nga sa application niya, sinabi niya he intends to reside in Alberta. Pero ang nangyari po kasi, so meron siyang employer sa Alberta which supported his PR application, by the way. Inassign siya sa opisina nila in Mississauga, Ontario. He lived and worked in Calgary until March 2016 when his company required assistance at their Mississauga, Ontario office. Okay, he was temporarily transferred to that location and he remained there until May 2018. And then, ang nakasulat dito, as holder of a confirmation of permanent residency, okay, the appellant has access to this appeal. The onus is on the appellant, nasa kanya yung burden, to show why he should not be excluded from Canada, bakit hindi siya dapat paalisin, based on his misrepresentation in obtaining his confirmation of permanent residency. Okay? What is also happening here is, ang sinasite niya ngayon na grounds para siya ay manatili dito ay HNC na. Okay, humanitarian and compassionate grounds. At sa totoong ending po nito, napagbigyan po ay yung kanyang appeal. So, na-set aside yung kanyang exclusion order. But it does not refute the fact na hinabol pa rin siya ng Alberta tungkol dun sa kanyang misrepresentation nang lumipat siya ng probinsya. Let me point out this portion also. The misrepresentation is serious. But surrounding circumstances mitigate to some extent. Kaya nga rin po napagbigyan yung kanyang appeal. But in this portion of the decision, makikita mo na talagang binibigyan ng halaga ng korte. Yung basic, ito nakasulat, yung basic requirement ng Provincial Nominee Program. Kung saan, okay, they intend to reside in the province that has nominated them. Now, puntahan natin muna itong clip of Attorney Lou answering a question during our recent live episode related po sa issue na ito. Sabi niya, in Attorney Lou, PR on October 2025 via PNP. We bought a house last year. My spouse got laid off. Plan to move to Ontario if hindi makahanap ng work. O sige, regardless of kung na PNP. Would it affect our citizenship application next year?
That's a good question, actually. So, maraming beses na natin na itong napag-usapan that Canadians and permanent residents in Canada have the charter protected right to move to any province in Canada, within Canada, diba? Pero yung pagbabawal kasi sa pag-move ng mga new permanent residents from province A to province B, nakasaklaw kasi ito dun sa intent, declaration of intent dun sa inyong PNP application that you intend to reside, for example, in the province of Alberta. I can see the basis of your moving. I mean, medyo specific na yung advice na to Jack says, so, take this with a grain of salt because I'm going to talk in generality here. Na, depending talaga on your situation. Now, if your situation can justify the move, to another province, then it's possible. Usually, ginagamit natin example dito sa channel na to, and in my channel as well, is meron bang good reason for you to leave where you got your PR? For example, if you got PR through Alberta, lilipat kayo ng Ontario, ano ba yung dahilan? So, if ang dahilan is because nakahanap ka ng mas mabuting trabaho in Ontario dahil na-lay off ka in Alberta, which is kind of very close to your example here, especially na may pressure na magbabayad kayo ng mortgage. Sabi nga kay Paula Bedjones before, diba? Do you feel any pressure right now?
Nakakainis to. Ikaw, go.
Sorry. It was so easy. I had to put it in.
Right.
Yeah, so syempre dama siguro nila Jax yung pressure dito, 'di ba? So I think maintindihan naman 'to ng immigration officer once they apply for their citizenship, once they are eligible, of course.
Right, oo. Okay, kasi at least, ano 'no, again Jax hindi to specific advice we're just, working with what you
I
mentioned here. Okay,
Yeah,
at least
generals.
they mukhang meron naman silang mapapakita nila na meron silang intention to reside. They even bought a house, 'di ba? May trabaho sila dun. I don't think they
Yeah,
will move if the spouse was not laid off, 'di ba?
kasi ano
Kumbaga
nun, 'di ba, baka
puwede na
mawala yung house, ano ba yun?
oo. Right, right. Okay. So I guess, guys 'no, there is no clear parang threshold, walang bilang na mga buwan na
Hindi
puwedeng
ganun.
bilangin. Oo, para
'Pag
ikaw ay
pakikinggan yung
puwede
yeah, sorry.
oo, go ahead, attorney. Kasi minsan sinasabi nila, after 2 years, pwede ka na umalis.
Sabi ko
Yan. O, 2 years ang
yan
lagi ko
lagi
naririnig. Totoo ba yun?
nakikita
Saan kaya
natin lagi
galing?
yung marites na yan, totoo yan.
Oo nga. So, ano bang katotohanan dyan sa 2 years na
There's
sinasabi?
no truth to the 2 years. Ignore.
So, even if you move after 2 years, pwede ka pa rin habulin?
Kung hindi valid yung I mean, I think at that point hindi ka na habulin kasi again, liberty of abode. Pero kasi yung proximity nun sa pagkuha mo ng PR, 'di ba? If you look at cases where IRCC and CBSA pursues individuals for misrepresentation, for ano, usually hinahabol nila yung parang, Diyos ko, wala pang isang buwan umalis na, 'di ba? So,
Oo.
alam mo yun, yung pinaka ano, known case was in the Quebec Investor Program, a long time ago. There were a lot of Chinese investors who bought into the investment program for PR ng Quebec. And then, hindi man lang sila, alam mo, hindi man lang sila nag-restaurant sa Chinatown sa Montreal. Nakaalis na sila papuntang Vancouver. So parang, ano to, ginamit nyo lang talaga yung investor program to get in and then
Correct.
lumipat na kayo. Di man lang
Oo.
kayo nagparamdam. Ganon.
Oo. Tsaka guys, no, let's distinguish again, Attorney Lou. It's not an issue of parang violating your mobility rights. Okay? Yung karapatan mong mag-travel and reside or work anywhere you want.
Yes.
It's not an issue of that. It's an issue of misrepresentation when you told the province and filled out that form that
Yes.
wherein you said na, oo, dyan ako titira.
Correct.
I intend to reside in your province. Kaya ka inapprove. Kasi yun ang gusto ng probinsya. It's a requirement for the PNP program that you applied for. So, it's not necessarily you being prohibited to move. Okay? It's you misrepresenting your declaration. Kaya pwede, if ever, bawiin yung iyong PNP nomination, yung parang ganon. Tama ba yung paliwanag ko, Attorney Lou?
You're positively 100% spot on.
Oo. Kasi ang argument lagi ay hindi, mali kayo. Ano ba yan? It's a constitutional right na maglipat probinsya. Kung ikaw ay PR, wala na
That's
silang
not the
pakialam.
issue. You're right. That's not the issue. The issue is, sinungaling ka.
Now, let's go to Dayanara in Puerto Bantigue naman. Ano? Tinanong ko siya, ano ba ang sagot mo pag tinatanong ka tungkol sa issue na ito? Ito po ang kanyang sagot. Yan. Sige, ang sagot mo dyan.
Ang sagot ko palagi dyan is kung kailan ka ma-citizen.
Okay.
Yan ang sagot ko dyan. It would always be better to apply for citizenship first before you relocate, especially if ang PR ninyo ay nakuha ninyo because you promised or you signed a certain document that says that you wanna stay in a certain area, permanently. Kumbaga kung ang PR po ninyo ay napakalaking tulong ng probinsya o ng lugar, kasi same applies for rural communities kasi. I say wait until you become citizens, and it's not that long. Honestly, kung kayo po ay dati ng student or dati ng worker, meron po kayong mga hanggang 1 taon na pwedeng ma-exempt sa paghihintay. So instead of waiting for 3 years, you only need 2 years. Usually, para makapag-apply ng citizenship, the process can take, well, kami nun medyo matagal din. But it could take about a year. Pero at least you have the peace of mind kahit papano na hindi kayo magkakaroon ng problema. Kasi tama si Attorney Lou, there is the Oaks test that can be applied and you cannot argue against that unless meron kayong dahilan talaga kung ba't kayo lumipat.
Right. Can you explain to us yung Oaks test na yan?
Oaks test is parang, well, si Attorney Lu ang mas magaling mag-explain dito. Pero parang it's an exemption to certain rules. Diba? Kasi there is a rule for permanent residents that they can live anywhere in Canada, work
It's a
anywhere
right.
in Canada. It's a right.
Oo.
So the Oaks test, in a way, is something that the IRCC can use as a defense kung bakit kailangan nilang tanggalin yung PR mo kasi lumipat ka. Because
Right.
it all goes towards reasonability. 'Di ba? Pupunta tayo dyan. So, reasonable ba yung dahilan mo kung bakit ka umalis ng Thunder Bay, for example?
Right.
Nawalan ka ba ng work doon? Meron ka bang kamag-anak sa Toronto na nangailangan ng tulong mo kaya kailangan mong lumipat?
Right.
Nagkaroon ka ba ng job offer for example, nasa Manitoba ka, lilipat ka ng Calgary, nagkaroon ka ba ng job offer sa Calgary na hindi mo matanggihan kasi dinoble yung sahod mo?
Right.
You know what I mean? But it has to be reasonable kung bakit po kayo lilipat. Kasi hindi naman pwede na ginamit mo lang yung lugar, ginamit mo lang yung probinsya para magkaroon ka ng PR tapos lalayasan mo na pagkatapos. It's not really fair. Diba?
Correct.
So we also have to be honest about it na yung iba kasi natin kababayan, ang argument nila, hindi, PR na ako eh, nakalagay naman
Karapatan ko yan. No? Karapatan
diba?
ko.
Kaya lang kasi, hindi laging ganoon ang buhay. Kailangan nating pangatawanan ang mga sinasabi natin. Once na nag-agree ka sa provincial nomination program na we will stay, this is our home, this is our residence, that is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And kapag bigla mong binaliktad yun, all of a sudden, after a few months na ma-PR ka, you're not adhering to your word.
Right.
So, it's for me, it's very connected to each other. It's very important to stay with our integrity kapag nag-a-apply pa tayo. Because, the PR application is a legal process. The citizenship application is a legal process.
Right. Oo. And we always hear, kasi ito yung reality, no? We always hear of stories. Hindi totoo yan. Ginawa na kasi nung kaibigan ko, wala naman siya naging problema.
Yun naman minsan lagi ko sinasabi sa mga kliyente ko, miss, hindi naman skilled yung trabaho ng asawa niya, nakakuha sila ng work permit. Bakit ini-insist mo sa akin na dapat ito yung hanapin kong trabaho? Ang lagi kong sinasabi, hindi mo naman po kasi pwedeng i-argue sa IRCC na ba't pinasa mo siya tapos ako hindi.
Oo. Tsaka, naisip ko din, imagine getting advice from an immigration practitioner na hindi magsaside doon sa advice na mas safe.
Yes!
Diba?
Oh my
I
God!
think that is always the better route to take. Diba?
Bakit
Alam mo naman sabihin, sige, okay lang yan, tama. Hindi naman titignan yan, rare lang yun eh. Kahit pa rare yun, I think the wiser advice is just, just save yourself from that possibility.
Exactly.
Right?
Always err on the side of caution. Always be on the safe side. Kasi sana paano kung may pamilya ka na maapektuhan pag nawalan ka ng PR or citizenship? Diba? Paano kung lahat ng buhay mo, ng aspeto ng buhay mo ay rooted na in Canada and all of a sudden you lose it for such a, minute eh. You know what I mean? Honestly, so, para sa akin, pupunta po tayo sa reasonability. So ako, bago siguro ako mag-relocate, magko-consult muna ako, magtatanong ako, reasonable ba yung dahilan ko? Kung ba't ako lilipat? Kasi kung ang gagawin mo lang is lilipat ka ng ibang trabaho, same job, same salary, then pwedeng sabihin ng IRCC sa'yo na wala namang pinagkaiba eh, wala namang advantage. Wala namang, how can this be reasonable that you would transfer?
Alright. Kung meron po kayong katanungan, put them down there in the comment section. Alright, we'll end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!